when it's particle. Your own self-protected, his mother did what his father won't. Disrespect your homies, why you cut all of your partners, bro? You ain't this Eminem, he your slave master.
If you thought the rap game couldn't get any more vicious, buckle up, because Papoose just lit the fuse on 50 Cent, and the explosion is shaking the entire industry. This is Spill News, where secrets don't just leak, they detonate right in your face. 1 minute 50 Cent is out here playing King of New York on Instagram. The next minute Papoose drops Agent Provocateur, a 5-minute surgical strike that calls Fif a liar, a fake Tupac, and a straight-up Agent Provocateur who's been starting wars he won't finish. The internet couldn't believe it, and you won't either. Bars about 50 exaggerating his 9 shots, stealing Pac's whole aura, turning on his own G-Unit brothers, and playing the victim card for 20 years straight. Papoose didn't just diss, he exposed the blueprint. If you were in 50 Cent's position right now, same betrayal, same spotlight, same career on the chopping block, what would you do? Hide behind memes? Drop a weak response? Or finally step in the booth like a real one? Bro said too much, and they got him. Let's break it all down, and trust me, it gets uglier. Way uglier. You ever watch someone build an empire, only to realize the whole thing was built on quicksand? That's exactly what we're about to unpack. Let's rewind the clock just a little. Not all the way back to 2003 when Curtis Jackson got shot 9 times and turned that trauma into platinum records. No. Let's go back to around 2024 to 2025, when 50 Cent started acting like he was untouchable again. Instagram Live every other night, clowning everybody, posting old beef clips like war trophies, laughing at bankrupt rappers while sipping vitamin water royalties. The man was on a victory lap that never seemed to end. But under the surface, cracks were forming. New York hip-hop had been simmering for years. The old heads were tired. The new heads were tired of the old heads acting like gatekeepers. And right in the middle of it all was 50 Cent, still the loudest voice in the room, still the one everybody had to answer to, or so he thought. Enter Papoose. If you don't know Papoose by now, let me paint the picture real quick. Born Shamil Mackey, Brooklyn bred, battle rap DNA running through his veins. The dude was dropping mixtapes in the mid-2000s when most rappers were still figuring out MySpace. Alphabetical Slaughter went viral before viral was even a thing. He was supposed to be the next big thing on Rockefeller, until the politics happened. Deal fell through. Remy Ma went to prison. Life hit him with every uppercut. But Pap never folded. Never stopped spitting. Never stopped calling out fakes. And for years, he watched 50 Cent from the sidelines. Watched him bury Ja Rule. Watched him bury G-Unit members one by one. Watched him turn beef into content, turn content into cash, turn cash into power. And Pap stayed quiet, mostly. Until he didn't. The first red flag came in late 2024. 50 Cent starts going live, going at T.I. over some old royalty drama. Then he pivots, out of nowhere, and starts poking at Jim Jones. Then Mano. Then Dave East. Then Fabulous gets dragged into old Maze beef recycled for clicks. One after another, New York rappers start feeling the heat. And the pattern was clear. 50 wasn't just responding anymore. He was hunting. Insiders started whispering. Fake leaked DMs began circulating on academic subreddit and WorldStar comment sections. One alleged screenshot showed 50 texting an ANR, "Keep feeding me names. I'll handle the rest." Another one, supposedly from a G-Unit affiliate, read, "Fif said if they don't clap back in 48 hours, drop the AI video on all of them." Whether those were real or manufactured, the damage was done. The narrative shifted. People started saying 50 wasn't defending his legacy anymore. He was manufacturing enemies to stay relevant. Papoose saw it. And Papoose, the same Papoose who once said, "I don't start fights, I finish them," decided he'd had enough. January 2025 rolls around. Pap drops a short freestyle over the Many Men beat. Just 90 seconds. No video. No announcement. Just raw audio uploaded to his IG story that got screen recorded and reposted 400,000 times in 12 hours. Key lines that stuck. "You wasn't shot 9 times. You was shot 8.5/ the other half was ego when you lied to the math." Internet lost it. 50 Cent, true to form, didn't respond directly. He just posted a laughing emoji under a fan page that said "Papoose who?" and moved on. Classic 50. Ignore, meme, profit. But Pap wasn't playing for likes. He was planting seeds. Fast forward to March 2025. 50 keeps the pressure on. Posts an AI-generated video of Mano, Jim Jones, Dave East, and Fabulous all in clown makeup bowing to him. Caption: when the crabs realize the barrel ain't that deep. That video did numbers. But it also lit the final fuse. Anonymous sources close to Papoose started leaking to blogs. One said, "Papo's been writing for months. He's not dropping a song. He's dropping a body." Another alleged text from Pap to his engineer: "Make sure the beat hits like a hollow tip. I want him to feel every bar." The streets were buzzing. Blogs were speculating. Academics went live for 4 hours straight trying to predict who'd respond first. Then, silence. For 2 weeks. Dead silence. 50 kept posting workout videos, vitamin water ads, power spin-off teasers, acting like nothing happened. Papoose went ghost. Until March 11th, 2026. 8:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A simple Instagram post from @Papoosianline. Black screen, white text. Agent Provocateur. Out now. Link in bio. 5 minutes later the track hits YouTube, SoundCloud, every DSP at once. 5 minutes and 12 seconds of pure venom. And just like that, the game changed. The first verse opens with a sample of 50's own voice from a 2003 interview. "They shot me 9 times. Then Pap cuts in cold. 9 times? Nah, that's the myth you sold/truth is you got hit 8. The 9th was your soul." The beat drops. Dark boom bap. Number 808s. Just drums that sound like gunshots in an empty hallway. He goes in on the Tupac comparisons. "You stole Pac's bandana. Stole Pac's pain/now you out here acting like you invented the game." Then the G-Unit betrayal bars. "Turned on banks. Turned on Yayo. Turned on bucks/loyalty's a luxury when the money's up." By the second verse, it's personal. "You the reason New York quiet. You the reason we scared/every time a young nigga rise, you pull the chair." And the hook, the part that broke Twitter. "Agent Provocateur, FBI informant flow/stir the pot then dip. That's how the coward go." The internet went nuclear. Within 30 minutes the hashtag Agent Provocateur was trending worldwide. Clips of the track were being stitched with 50's old interviews. Side-by-side comparisons of his shooting story versus hospital reports, real or fake, didn't matter. Perception was everything. Fans were divided. One side, Papoose just ended 50. That's career suicide. Other side, 50 ain't gonna respond. He don't battle no more. He just wins. But the real ones, the real New York heads, knew something bigger was coming. Because Papoose didn't just diss 50. He accused him of being an industry plant. Of being the guy who starts the fires, so he can sell the water to put them out. And when that bar hit, you the Fed in the booth with the wiretap smile, even 50's die-hard fans went quiet for a second. The track ends with one final line spoken, no beat. "Tell the world the truth, Curtis, before I tell it for you." Mic drop. But what came next, even his enemies didn't expect. And just like that, the silence shattered. Within the first hour of Agent Provocateur dropping, YouTube views crossed 1.2 million. Twitter, X, was on fire. Clips of the hook alone got stitched, remixed, memed into oblivion. That line, "Agent Provocateur, FBI informant flow," became an instant soundbite. People weren't just quoting it, they were using it as a weapon in every comment section under 50's posts. Let's dissect this thing bar for bar, because Papoose didn't come to play. He came to autopsy. Verse 1 opens surgical. He flips 50's most famous story, the shooting, into a question mark. 9 times in the back, face, hand, chest/, but the paperwork say 8. So what's the 9th, the rest? Pap pulls receipts, or at least claims to. Blogs started digging up old police reports from 2000 grainy scans floating around Reddit showing entry wounds that didn't quite add up to the legend. Real or cap? Doesn't matter. The seed of doubt was planted, and once doubt grows in hip-hop, it spreads like wildfire. Then he hits the Pac cosplay angle hard. Red bandana, bullet scars on the grill/you ain't Machiavelli, you just marketing the kill. Pap accuses 50 of borrowing Tupac's entire aesthetic, the pain, the rebellion, the martyr vibe, and turning it into a brand. Pac died for the cause, you lived for the clause / sign the check, cash the clout, never paused. Brutal. And the fans who grew up idolizing both felt that one in the chest. But the real venom? The G-Unit implosion. Pap lists names like a hit list. Banks begged for a feature, you gave him the cold / Yayo took the L, Buck got sold / even Olivia went ghost when the checks got old. He paints 50 as the guy who builds squads just to dismantle them when the spotlight shifts. Loyalty's a one-way street when the king needs room / you the throne, they the pawns, and the game's your tomb. The second verse goes deeper into the agent provocateur theory, the idea that 50 isn't just starting beefs for fun. He's doing it strategically. Stir chaos in New York so no one else can rise. Pit artists against each other while he sits back collecting. You drop the match, watch the city burn slow / then sell the extinguisher on your own show. Pap even name drops the recent wave, T.I., Jim Jones, Mano, Dave East. Every time a nigga speak, you hit him with the leak / AI clowns, meme crowns, make the weak look weak. Anonymous sources, the kind that always surface after a bomb like this, started feeding blogs. One close friend of Pap told the source, he's been sitting on this for 2 years. Every time 50 clowned someone from BK or Queens, Pap wrote another verse. Another leak claimed Pap had unreleased takes where he went at Dr. Dre and Eminem for co-signing the fraud. Those never made the final cut, yet. Public reaction split like cracked concrete. Old school heads on IG Live were screaming, Papoose bodied him. That's real lyricism. Younger fans defended 50, Papoose mad he never sold units. Fifth built an empire, Pap built a SoundCloud. Academics did a 4-hour stream titled Did Papoose Just End 50 Cent? 220K peak viewers. Even Charlemagne jumped in on The Breakfast Club, if 50 don't respond, it's over. Silence is admission in the streets. But 50? Radio silence. No IG post. No subtweet. Just a cryptic story, black screen, one laughing emoji. Classic power move. Or was it fear? Then came the twist nobody saw coming. Late that night, March 11th into March 12th, a new anonymous account drops a supposed leaked email chain on a hip-hop forum. Subject line, Provocateur response strategy. Allegedly from someone in 50's camp to a marketing firm. One line stood out, let it breathe for 72 hours. If it dies down, we drop the vault footage. If it doesn't, we activate Plan B, bring up Remy. Remy Ma. The same Remy who was once Pap's ride or die. The same Remy who 50 had shaded multiple times over the years. The email, real or forged, suggested digging into old Papoose Remy drama, maybe old voicemails, maybe something from when she was locked up. The implication? If Pap wants to play dirty, 50's ready to go nuclear on his personal life. The forum post exploded. Screenshots spread faster than the track itself. Now the beef wasn't just bars, it was threatening to get personal. Ugly. Family level ugly. And just when we thought the night couldn't get darker, another name surfaced in the replies. Eminem. Someone posted a blurry photo, time-stamped 2:47 a.m., of what looked like Marshall's team watching the track in a studio. Caption, Shady Camp on high alert. They picking sides tonight. The game wasn't just flipped. It was flipped, set on fire, and thrown off a roof. But the real fallout, that was only beginning. The dust hadn't even settled, but the damage was already irreversible. By sunrise on March 12, 2026, Agent Provocateur had crossed 8 million streams across platforms. Papoose's Instagram followers jumped by almost 400K overnight. Blogs called it the most vicious lyrical assassination since Hit 'em Up. But behind the numbers, something darker was unfolding, the kind of fallout that doesn't show up in view counts. 50 Cent stayed silent for 48 full hours. No posts. No lives. No cryptic emojis. Just nothing. For a man who built a career on never letting the last word slip away, that silence screamed louder than any response track ever could. Fans started panicking in his comments. Fifth, say some. You good boss. Don't let Pap do you like this. The power dynamic had flipped in real time. The king who once dictated the tempo was now being forced to react, or risk looking weak. Then, on the third day, he moved. Not with bars. Not with a diss. With something colder. 50 posted a single Instagram story, a grainy black and white photo of himself from 2003, fresh out the hospital, bullet wounds still bandaged. No caption. Just the image. Under it, fans flooded with heart emojis, prayers, King survived worse. It was genius deflection. Remind everyone why the myth exists in the first place. Remind them he's been through hell and came out richer. Remind them Papoose wasn't there when the real bullets flew. But the streets weren't buying it fully. The agent provocateur label stuck like tar. Every time 50 posted now, comments were flooded with wiretap emojis, Fed hats, where the informant at. Even some of his own affiliates started distancing themselves quietly. Whispers in group chats, Fifth moving funny lately. Too many bodies on his ledger. Papoose, meanwhile, didn't gloat. At least not publicly. He dropped one follow-up IG post the next day, a simple photo of the New York skyline at dusk. Caption: truth don't need a feature. No victory lap. No taunting. Just quiet confidence. That restraint only made the diss hit harder. It felt like a professional hit, not a street brawl. The emotional toll started showing on both sides. Insiders claimed 50 was in a dark place. One anonymous source close to the power set told a podcast, he ain't sleeping. Staring at old footage, replaying bars. Man built everything from nothing, and now one track got people questioning the foundation. There were rumors he reached out to old G-Unit members, Banks, Yayo, trying to patch things up behind closed doors. Whether those calls happened or not, the optics were brutal, the man who once cut them off now needing allies. Papoose wasn't unscathed either. The personal shots about Remy Ma backfired in pockets of the culture. Some Brooklyn heads felt he crossed a line bringing up old wounds, even if 50 started it. Remy herself stayed silent. No posts, no subs. But her camp allegedly told blogs, she don't play with family business. That silence felt heavier than any response. Pap lost a little street cred in the process, the kind you can't buy back with streams. Then came the biggest twist, the one that turned this from beef into potential legacy killer. March 15, 2026. A supposed vault leak hits DatPiff and SoundCloud. Audio titled Curtis, Untitled Response 2005. It's raw, unpolished 50 Cent in the booth, venting about betrayal, money, loyalty. Keyline, they all crabs, but I'm the one who built the barrel. Fans dissected it for hours. Was it real? Was it planted by 50's team to humanize him? Or worse, was it hacked from old sessions to make him look paranoid? The clip went mega viral. Side-by-side edits with Pap's diss started trending. For the first time, people saw vulnerability under the armor. The invincible 50 Cent. Scared of being exposed as human. That vulnerability cracked something open. By the end of the week, quiet moves started happening. Reports surfaced that 50 quietly pulled back from some beef posts, archived old AI clown videos. PowerBook spin-offs got pushed harder in promo, distraction or pivot. No one knew. But the energy shifted. The hunter became the hunted, and the hunted started retreating. Papoose kept dropping subtle jabs and freestyles, but nothing as lethal. He'd already said what needed saying. The rest was noise. In the end, no one won. Not really. 50's empire didn't crumble overnight, but the myth took a permanent dent. The shooting story, the survivor narrative, the King of New York aura, all of it now came with an asterisk. Papoose didn't dethrone him, but he forced the throne to wobble. And somewhere in the smoke of this war, the real lesson emerged. In hip-hop, the loudest mouth can survive bullets, bankruptcies, and betrayals. But it can't always survive the truth when it's spit with precision. 50 Cent built a legend on pain. Papoose reminded the world that legends can bleed. And once the bleeding starts, it's hard to stop. The game never ends. It just changes who's holding the mic. What do you think happens next? Yo, pause for a second and let that sink in. We just watched one of the most respected lyricists in New York step into the booth and put Curtis 50 Cent Jackson on full display. Not as the invincible mogul, not as the survivor who beat death 9 times, but as a man who might have been playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. and maybe even cheating the board. Papoose didn't just drop bars. He dropped truth bombs that are still echoing through every group chat, every barbershop, every late-night live stream from Multan to Brooklyn. The myth cracked. The throne wobbled. And the scary part? 50 still hasn't clapped back with a verse. Silence from the king who used to talk the most. That tells you everything. Is this the beginning of the end for Fifth's untouchable status? Or is he cooking something nuclear in the shadows? That vault footage, that Remy angle, that Eminem whisper? We don't know yet, but the streets are watching. The culture is watching. And honestly, so are you. So tell me right now in the comments. Who won round 1, Papoose or 50 Cent? Should Fifth drop a response track, or is ignoring it the ultimate power move? If you were 50 right now, what would you do? Bars? Business? Or burn it all down? And the real one, is the 9-shot story forever changed after this? Drop your hottest takes below, no cap, no filter. The wilder the better. I'm reading every single one. If you want more real-time breakdowns, more hidden leaks, more of these industry earthquakes before they hit the headlines, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're not done. Not even close. Next drop could be tomorrow. Or tonight. This is Spill News. Where secrets explode. And the truth bleeds. Hit like if Papoose had you replaying that hook. Comment who you think folds first. Subscribe because the next chapter is coming faster than 50 can post a meme. Peace. But the war? Still raging.